You've been driving an automatic for years, maybe decades, and you probably think you've got it down. But here's the thing, some of the habits you don't even think about are quietly wrecking your transmission. I'm not talking about obvious stuff, I'm talking about the things almost everyone gets wrong. By the end of this video, you're gonna see your car differently, and if you ignore just one of these, don't be surprised when your mechanic hands you a bill with 4 digits. Let's get into it.
You've probably seen someone drive with one foot on the gas and the other hovering over the brake. Looks like they're ready for anything, right? Here's what's actually happening. That left foot, even just resting there, is constantly riding the brake. That'll wear your brake pads out twice as fast. But it gets weirder. Modern cars have brake-by-wire systems, and when the computer sees both pedals pressed, it sometimes cuts power entirely, right when you need to move. And in a panic, your brain short-circuits. One foot slams the wrong pedal, and suddenly you're through the garage door. Not illegal, but definitely expensive. And honestly, that's just the start.
Some drivers love to downshift their automatic into low or second to save their brakes on long downhill grades. I've heard people swear by it. Here's the problem. Automatic transmissions are designed to upshift and downshift on their own. When you force a downshift at high speed, the transmission has to suddenly engage a lower gear, creating a massive spike in hydraulic pressure and heat. On modern CVTs, the simulated shifts can put excessive stress on the belt. Brakes are cheap and designed to be replaced. Transmissions are not. Use your brakes to control speed. That's what they're there for. The only exception is extremely long mountain descents where you risk brake fade. But even then, a light, steady brake application is far safer than forcing a downshift.
I get it. Stomping the gas from a dead stop feels amazing. But if you've got an automatic, especially a CVT, you're basically asking for trouble. Traditional automatics have gears. CVTs have a steel belt running between 2 pulleys. Floor it from a standstill and you generate instant heat that stretches that belt. There's a reason Nissan faced a wave of lawsuits over CVT failures. Mechanics have whispered for years that most of those failures trace back to aggressive launches. Your car might feel fine today, but each hard launch is like yanking on a rubber band until it finally snaps. And when it does, you're looking at a repair that starts around $4 grand. Smooth and steady wins that race. You're slowing down, not fully stopped, and you throw it into park. Bad move. That parking pawl, a tiny metal pin, is designed for holding a stationary car, not stopping a moving one. In older cars, you'd hear a violent ratcheting sound. In newer shift-by-wire cars, the computer might delay the command, but when it engages, the damage is already done. I've heard unconfirmed reports of transmission control modules getting confused, logging permanent fault codes that only a dealer can clear. A few models even let you shift into park at 5 miles an hour. Do it once and you might get lucky. Do it repeatedly and you're gambling with a transmission replacement that can run over $3,000. Always stop, then shift.
You see those YouTube videos? Someone slaps a cold air intake and a tune on their automatic sedan and calls it a day. What they don't show is the transmission crying for mercy. Automatics are calibrated from the factory to handle a specific torque range. When you add an ECU flash that spikes torque, you're asking the clutch cacks, valve body, and torque converter to do something they were never built to do. There's a reason warranty claims get denied the second a modified ECU is detected. It's not that mods are evil, it's that automatics don't react the same way manuals do. If you want real performance, buy a car that came with it. Otherwise, stick to wheels and tint. Your transmission will thank you. You start the car on a winter morning and immediately rev it to warm it up. Please don't. That's like sprinting on ice before your muscles are ready. When the engine is cold, the pistons and cylinders haven't expanded to their proper fit. The oil is thick as molasses and hasn't reached every bearing. Revving forces metal to grind against metal with almost no lubrication. And don't trust the coolant temperature gauge. Oil takes 3 times longer to warm up. Even on a summer day, let the car idle for a minute or two. On freezing mornings, give it 5. Your engine will last twice as long. And if you have a turbo, this becomes even more critical. Picture this. You pull into your driveway, slam it into park, and twist the key off. But if you turn the engine off before the transmission fully engaged park, you might have just confused the computer. In modern cars, the shift-by-wire system waits for confirmation. Shut it off too fast, and the transmission doesn't have time to settle. Some owners have reported that after doing this repeatedly, their car wouldn't start because the computer thought it was still in drive. It's a small electronic glitch, but it can leave you stranded. The safe move? Come to a complete stop, shift to park, set the parking brake, then turn off the engine. It takes 3 extra seconds and saves a tow truck call. Open your owner's manual, and some manufacturers claim the transmission fluid is lifetime. Let me save you some pain. That lifetime means the life of the warranty, not the life of the car. Real-world mechanics have shown that fluid breaks down after 60 to 80,000 miles. When it does, varnish builds up on the valve body, shift solenoids stick, and clutches start slipping. There's a reason independent shops see so many failed automatics right after the warranty expires. If your car has a dipstick, check the fluid. If it's sealed, find a shop that can service it. Fresh fluid is cheap compared to a $4,000 rebuild. Some drivers swear that shifting into neutral going downhill saves gas. It doesn't. Modern fuel-injected cars cut fuel entirely when coasting in gear. In neutral, the engine has to idle, so you're actually burning more fuel. But the real danger is losing control. In neutral, you can't accelerate out of a sudden situation. And there's another problem. When you shift back into drive while moving, the transmission has to suddenly re-engage, slamming clutch packs and stressing the torque converter. In some vehicles, this repeated shock has been linked to premature failure. Keep it in drive. Your transmission and your safety will thank you. Sitting in a drive-thru or waiting to pick someone up, it's tempting to just leave it in drive with your foot on the brake. But that keeps the transmission in a loaded state. The torque converter is constantly slipping, generating heat, and the fluid isn't circulating as efficiently as it should. Over time, that heat degrades the fluid, and the added strain on the engine mounts and transmission mounts adds up. Police cars, which idle for hours, often need transmission rebuilds way earlier than highway-driven cars. If you're going to be stationary for more than a minute or two, shift into neutral or park. Better yet, turn the engine off if you'll be sitting longer. You just finished a long highway drive and you pull into a rest area and shut the engine off immediately. In a manual car, downshifting naturally cools things down, but in an automatic, the transmission retains heat. Shutting off the engine stops the flow of coolant and transmission fluid, trapping that heat inside. This is called hot soak, and it can cook seals, harden gaskets, and degrade fluid. For turbocharged automatics, it's even worse. The turbo can be glowing red hot with no oil circulation. The fix is simple. After a hard drive, let the car idle for a minute or two before killing the ignition. That gives the fluids time to carry away the excess heat. So there you have it, 11 mistakes that could be costing you thousands without you even realizing it. Some of these might feel like second nature, but now you know the hidden damage they cause. The mechanics who see the same failures week after week wish drivers knew this stuff earlier. If you caught yourself nodding along to any of these, don't worry. The best time to change a bad habit was years ago. The second best time is right now. And here's a thought to leave you with. In less than a decade, electric vehicles will make transmissions almost obsolete. No gears, no torque converters, no fluid changes. But while your car still has one, treat it like the finely tuned machine it is. Your future self and your wallet will thank you.
If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We've got more deep dives coming on what really kills your car and how to stop it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.